Anxiety is distinct from stress in that anxiety is a fear about something specific, usually something in the future, whereas stress is accumulated tension from either mental or physical tension from things that have happened in the past. So, generally speaking, anxiety is about the future, stress is about the past. The problem is, fear is usually only useful for sort of emergency physical things that you have to do. For example, if you suddenly have to hit the brake when you're driving, or if you're running away from an angry bear. Those are things that fear is useful for because it creates that adrenaline fight or flight response. Generally speaking, in a normal course of events, fear is not that useful. Whenever you're giving a report or whenever you're having a conversation, fear is not the most useful state to be in. The problem is many people have a style of thinking that lends itself toward anxiety-producing thinking. For example, they might imagine a situation happening in the future and imagining all the possible bad things that could happen, all the possible bad outcomes, which of course creates anxiety. Or maybe they imagine trying it and failing, which of course creates anxiety. And whenever you're thinking in an anxiety-producing way, not only does it create anxiety, which feels bad, but also it decreases your performance. There are very few activities that benefit from anxiety. Again, they're the emergency physical types of activities. So whenever you're having this anxiety loop where you think, oh, well, if this happens, then this is going to happen. If this happens, then this is going to happen. And you find yourself cycling or looping over that same thought, it's producing a lot of anxiety. It's not useful for whatever you're trying to accomplish. One thing to keep in mind is that no matter what your situation is, there is always a best response. Now, you may be able to solve the problem immediately, or maybe that's not possible, but you can still take whatever the best response is. Maybe you can prepare to do the solution as soon as you can, or maybe you can sort of guard yourself from whatever the effects are. The bottom line is, it's never hopeless. No matter what the situation is, there is always a best solution. And thinking in an anxiety-producing way does not lend itself toward coming up with that solution. One of the great uses of hypnosis is that it can, during those times of stress or anxiety, it can clear your mind, calm your mind. It can give you an automatic response to stop, think about what's going on, let your rational mind take over, not panic, and start coming up with ways to respond best to the problem using solution-oriented thinking as opposed to anxiety-producing thinking. Hypnosis can make it so that those types of thoughts are automatic. Those cognitive patterns happen automatically so that anytime that happens, it just kicks right in. And that's one of the key things that is great about hypnosis.